What did a kid say in class that made the entire faculty meeting go dead silent the next morning? I was teaching 4th grade economics, the unit nobody volunteers for, because explaining inflation to 9-year-olds is somehow harder than explaining it to grown adults. I'd been at this school 6 years and pulled the short straw again. Recessions, debt, central banks, the housing market, concepts the average professional barely understands, and I had 30 kids who still thought money came out of the ATM like water from a tap. I tried everything. Posters, cartoons, a whole interactive game where they ran a lemonade stand. Half of them just ate the lemons. So that Friday, I gave up on textbook explanations and assigned them homework. Go home, ask your parents what causes a recession, come back Monday and tell us what they said. Worst case, they'd hear the word recession out loud and remember it for the test. Monday morning, the answers were exactly what you'd expect. One kid said her mom blamed gas prices. Another said his dad blamed the people in charge. A girl in the back said her grandma blamed avocados, which got a laugh. One kid said his stepdad said the recession was caused by feelings, which I just wrote down and chose not to follow up on. Then little Otis raised his hand. I should explain something about Otis. Otis is the kid who, every time he opens his mouth, the entire room shifts in their chairs. Not because he's loud, because Otis says things that haunt you in the shower 3 days later. I'd already had 2 parent meetings that semester, both of them about Otis, and both of them ended with his parents apologizing to me on behalf of generations of their family. But I called on him anyway, because the alternative was admitting I was scared of an 8-year-old. He stood up like he was being sworn in at a Senate hearing. I asked my dad what causes a recession, he said, and he told me our family is exactly like the economy. He said if I paid attention at dinner, I'd understand the whole thing. I already have that feeling, the one where your stomach drops a little because you've lost control of the lesson. Dad said he's the working class. He goes to work, brings home the money, comes home tired, and nobody appreciates him. Mom is the government. She decides where every dollar goes and there's no voting. Grandma's the Federal Reserve because she shows up with extra money whenever she feels like it. My big sister Lila is inflation. Every birthday she costs more than the last one, and Dad says her allowance is officially out of control. The baby is the housing market. He's unstable. He's expensive. He screams in the middle of the night, and somehow everyone keeps throwing money at him. And me, I'm the middle class. I work hard at school, I do my chores, and I still get told there's no money for anything I want. The class is dead silent. The teacher next door has stopped talking, and I'm pretty sure she can hear this through the wall. So Dad told me to watch dinner last night and I'd understand recessions. Otis says. I should have stopped him. I should have said, thank you, Otis. Great work. Please sit down. But you don't interrupt this kind of moment. You don't. Grandma came over with a birthday check for $60. Mom took the envelope before Dad got home from work. Dad came in late, ate leftover spaghetti standing up at the counter, and never even asked about the check because he didn't know it existed. Lila came downstairs and asked for $40 for some lip stuff, and Mom just handed it to her. The baby started crying for an hour, and somehow that ended with Mom ordering him new shoes online. And then I asked if I could go on the Science Museum field trip, and Mom said, I'm sorry, sweetie, there's just no money this month. He pauses. He looks around the room. He's 8 years old, and he has the comedic timing of a man who has lived 3 lives. So now I get it, Otis says. The Federal Reserve prints money out of nowhere. The government takes its cut before anyone can blink. The working class never even sees the cash. Inflation gets whatever it wants and costs more every year. The housing market screams for hours and still gets bailed out. And the middle class? We're the only ones who get told there's no money left.